In what was initially shaping up to be a lopsided and potentially demoralizing 2-on-1 main event, Ryan Davidson found himself standing alone inside the ring under the bright lights of the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena, preparing to battle not one but two dangerous opponents, the flamboyant, unapologetically arrogant Lexis King and the newly self-declared Empire State Champion Danny Limelight, who had recently stirred controversy by renaming and redesigning the prestigious Texas Championship in his own image. What once symbolized Texan pride and reality of wrestling's deep-rooted legacy had, under Limelight's reign, been transformed into a New York-themed title, a move that deeply offended the fans and locker room alike. The physical title belt was disrespected, the Texas flag imagery replaced, and with that, Limelight sparked one of the most heated rivalries currently brewing in the promotion. While Davidson is no stranger to adversity, being a multi-time champion and the first-ever reality of wrestling Grand Slam champion, the odds seemed heavily stacked against him as he stared down two highly skilled, opportunistic athletes with shared chemistry and recent momentum on their side. Lexis King, the brash and calculating second-generation star carrying the name and aura of his late father, Brian Pillman, walked in with the same confidence and cunning that helped him previously defeat Davidson under questionable circumstances. As the bell neared, speculation ran wild at commentary. Had Davidson managed to convince anyone backstage to join him in this war, or was he really going to fight both men alone? Just as the referee appeared ready to signal the start of the match and Davidson prepared to stand his ground, the arena suddenly erupted in shock and excitement as the unmistakable presence of Zilla Fatu, son of the late Great Umaga and proud member of the revered Anoa'i family, stormed the entranceway, making his way to the ring and answering the call. The fans leapt to their feet as Zilla, draped in Samoan intensity, stood shoulder to shoulder with Davidson, bringing with him not just muscle and momentum, but a legacy soaked in generations of wrestling greatness. Zilla's arrival turned the match from an unfair fight into a legitimate tag team showdown, and the tone instantly shifted. The moment Lexis King and Danny Limelight saw who was coming down the ramp, their confidence noticeably wavered. Though Limelight and King had prior experience tagging together, Fatu brought an uncoachable level of intensity, raw power, and unpredictability to the ring. The match officially began with Zilla squaring off against Lexis King, and what followed was a fast-paced, hard-hitting, and emotionally charged contest that showcased the contrasting styles of each performer. Zilla Fatu dominated early exchanges, tossing King across the ring, countering with ease, and using his strength to command attention. Davidson, once tagged in, used his veteran instincts and technical acumen to isolate King and later Limelight, reminding everyone why he's considered the cornerstone of reality of wrestling. On the opposite side, King and Limelight were methodical in their approach, slowing the pace when necessary and targeting Davidson's ribs and lower back, which had been weakened in their previous match weeks earlier. Despite being outmatched in brute strength, they relied on ring awareness and double-team tactics, frequently cutting off the ring to prevent Zilla from tagging in. At multiple points, they nearly scored the victory, with Danny executing aerial assaults and Lexis capitalizing with well-timed interference, showing off the kind of tag-team chemistry that only comes with repetition. However, no matter how often Davidson was cornered, he refused to stay down, feeding off the crowd and pushing through pain until he created the opening he needed. With the crowd roaring, Davidson finally made the hot tag to Zilla Fatu, who entered the ring like a freight train, unleashing a series of brutal strikes, suplexes, and his signature Samoan drop that turned the momentum completely. Zilla's presence was a storm, and King and Limelight could do little to contain it. The highlight came when Zilla launched himself over the top rope in a massive dive to the outside, wiping out both opponents and sending the audience into a frenzy. As the action reached its peak, a critical miscommunication between Lexis King and Danny Limelight caused a collision that left both men stunned. Davidson capitalized, delivering a powerful spinebuster to Lexis before setting his sights on Limelight. With the arena now fully behind them, Davidson connected with the devastating Davidson driver, planting the self-proclaimed Empire State Champion firmly into the canvas. The referee counted the three, and with that, the team of Ryan Davidson and Zilla Fatu had not only secured a monumental win, but also shifted the landscape of reality of wrestling heading into the Summer of Champions event. The post-match scene was a powerful one. Davidson, emotionally charged, raised Zilla's hand in victory, pointing to the sky in acknowledgement of Zilla's heritage, while the crowd responded in thunderous appreciation. Zilla Fatu remained undefeated in the promotion, proving that his lineage isn't just symbolic, he is a real threat in every sense. Meanwhile, Ryan Davidson, once again, proved his heart, grit, and unmatched connection to Texas wrestling by overcoming the odds and reclaiming momentum in his bitter feud with Danny Limelight. The chemistry between Davidson and Zilla, despite being untested before this night, proved to be explosive and effective, leaving fans and wrestlers alike wondering if we've just witnessed the formation of the next dominant force in Rose Tag Team Division. As commentary signed off and cameras faded to black, one thing was crystal clear. This match was more than a win. It was a message to Limelight, to Lexis King, and to the entire roster that legacy, honor, and heart still means something in reality of wrestling. With Summer of Champions 10 just weeks away, this rivalry is far from over, and if tonight was any indication, the road